Hi everyone, Dr. Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist here. As always, thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. Those of you who are not yet subscribed, if you like this video and you feel there's value, please hit subscribe at the end. So today, I want to talk about social media and social media boundaries, because obviously, those of you who follow me on social media know that I'm on there pretty much every day. It is really the main platform where I put out this content. And I come to realize that I have to be very aware of my relationship with social media, because I'm sure, like many listeners, it really does affect us. The reality of the internet is, it is a reality. As far as I see it, it's not going away. However, it's a new reality for all of us humans. We're not yet used to living with the virtual world ever present, ever accessible. So we don't yet really know what the long-term effects could be. I know that there are effects that I suffer or I experience based on my social media use. So I want to talk a little bit, when I say social media boundaries, I'm talking about personal boundaries, right? How do I relate and engage with social media? So things to keep in mind or be aware of for ourselves and our relationship with social media that would be really helpful is taking a social media inventory. What does that mean? Writing down the content that you're consuming. What are the major themes? Back in the day, we didn't have as much choice. The news ran a story, we got one version of the events, and until the news ran another story on that particular event, that's the only information that we really had available to us. Now, we could hear the news story on an event, go online, read all the experiences of the event, read all of the opinions about the event, you get the picture. We can fully immerse ourselves now in information per topic. So what am I talking about when I say take a social media inventory? A lot of us, right, are focusing, because it's maybe an area of interest, maybe it's an area of concern, on particular topics. So we might become only focused on that one aspect of our life. Why am I talking about this? If I'm viewing content on social media, the more I view it, the more I become stuck in that one way of perceiving the world. And before I know it, when I go out into the world, I'm stuck in that same way. So it would be really helpful to take that inventory, to assess what are the topics that you're spending your most time consuming. And furthermore, are you only viewing the topic through one lens, or are you maybe researching other perceptions in that one area? The more focused we are, the more stuck we can become in our virtual life and in our real life outside of our virtual landscape. Number two, really helpful, if we begin to notice how consuming these messages makes you feel, impacts your relationships, impacts what you think about. For me, right, if I tend to view particularly negative content online or stressful content online, I notice the effect. I feel the stress, I feel the negativity. I carry that with me. And then even though I put maybe the phone down, I'm now still stuck in that feeling state. And personally for me, I know that impacts me. That impacts my emotions, that impacts how I feel about myself. I could often bring that into my partnership. And like I said earlier, I can bring that, then carry what happened online out into the world. And then I remain stuck in that experience. So when you're doing your inventory, also check into how each of these content areas makes you feel, and observe if there is any of that residual takeaway that you're carrying with you once you've closed down that social media page. Likely the answer will be yes. Another step that would be really helpful, notice how and when even you're reaching for your phone. For me, when I'm sitting, when I have nowhere else to put my attention, and definitely when I'm feeling agitated inside, my go-to is my phone. Oh, let me see what's happening on all my accounts. Let me check my email. Let me put my attention somewhere else. So notice how often you're doing that. Another byproduct of the social media use is the dopamine, that hit that we can get from that stimulation immediately. And a lot of us are using that to distract, to move away from either what's actively present in our current environment or maybe internally present in our emotional world. So notice how often, notice when you're picking up your phone. Notice how many hours you're spending on it. I mean, now apps like Instagram tell you. This might be surprising. I know at times I don't think I'm on as much as I am, and when I see that reading, it's well beyond what I anticipated. So just do an assessment. See how long, log the hours that you're accumulating online. It might be surprising. You might be spending well more time than you're aware of, which leads us to another step. If you do come to the conclusion that you're spending more time than you would like on social media, it might be helpful to designate times where you're social media free or maybe phone free. So for instance, this weekend I was at the beach and I decided not even to bring my phone. That way I wasn't tempted to fill my dead time, my downtime with looking at the phone. Sometimes it can be helpful to do that with a partner, to do that with whomever we're doing the event with. So, hey friend, we're gonna go on a hike. Can we both agree to keep our phones in the car? And then we can check in when we get back. Bringing me to the final point. If you do take the break from social media, notice how you feel. Notice if there's any changes in the way you're thinking, in the way you're feeling, and in the way you're behaving in the world. For me, I notice a big difference. I can feel much more grounded in the world outside of social media, right? So wrapping this all full circle, notice what you're consuming online, right? Notice how what you're consuming makes you feel, and then what you're carrying with you into the real world. A lot of us are replicating what we're doing online in our external physical environments. Notice how long we're spending, put those breaks, elicit the support of friends if we need to. And as we take the breaks, notice how we feel. For me, I can feel so much more grounded. My world can feel so much more expansive when I'm in it. Social media can really make us feel small and stuck. I hope this video was helpful. I know I'm always evaluating my boundaries around my social media use, and it really, really, really is beneficial because we really don't know what the long-term effects are going to be of constant consumption in this way.